One of the projects that the county has been supporting is the Button Farm rebuild. Can you speak to that?
It's a terrific project, and it is largely driven by volunteers. I mean, Tony, one weekend after another, there's whole bunches of folks like the students that I work with that go out there, and while of course some of the fine work of restoring an old house is going to be done by professionals, but the bulk of the work done in this beautiful project is done by volunteers.
I'm Aaliyah. I'm here because I think that community service is a really great thing to do. I'm Taylor Geyer, and I'm here to help make the farm a better place.
Today I'm here with Anthony Cohen from the Button Farm Living Foundation. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
So tell us a little bit about your role and about Button Farm.
Yes, I'm president of the Button Farm Living History Center, which is in Germantown, Maryland. We're a hands-on history center, kind of in the style of colonial Williamsburg, but our period of history is 1850s plantation life in Maryland. So we operate a living, working, everyday run-of-the-mill farm that has a historical bent.
When people come to visit your farm, do they just visit? Do you put them to work? Define hands-on.
Yes, that's a great question. So we do a number of different programs. We do educational programs, and so when school groups come out during the week, the bus pulls up, the kids get out, we put hose in their hands, and we send them in the fields working.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the history of the farm. What are some important historical events that happen there?
Button Farm sits inside of Seneca Creek State Park, which is a 6,000-acre park. The farm itself has its origins in the 1700s and was occupied by multiple generations through the 1980s.
Oh, wow. Yes. So when you talk about the history of the farm, and you say that you're using the 1850s right now as the time frame where you're running the farm out of. Yes. So what are some events that happened during that time frame, and what made you choose that time frame right now? That's
a great question. 1850s is our time frame because that's a period of history that encompasses American slavery, the Underground Railroad, and also moves close to the time of the Civil War and emancipation. So it's a time period for our state, our county, and the nation in general where we have a lot of information through historical documents, first-hand accounts that we're able to use to kind of bring that history alive. Our chief goal is to get the Underground Railroad immersion experience up and running. We've been very fortunate because once we settled on Button Farm, it was a very short time before the community discovered we were there. And we, I guess, originally thought, you know, we'd raise the money, we'd fix up the farm, and then open the doors to the public. But the public wasn't having that. They wanted to be part of the expansion and the development and the growth of the farm. So we really brought in the public early on to help us clear the site. The public through other nonprofits, through civic groups and corporations helped us raise the money to do the restoration of the farm. And we've actually started not only our programs but the regular day-to-day maintenance of the farm through volunteers. which has turned out to be our greatest resource.
So tell me a little bit about the dedication of the farm.
Yes, last year we did the groundbreaking of the restoration for the farm. We have a number of historic buildings that have begun to go under restoration.
And I understand that at Make a Difference Day, you had a large group of volunteers that came out. Tell me a little bit about what they did and what are some of the events that they attended during that day.
Yeah, absolutely. They came out and harvesting produce that went to our food shelters and whatnot, to beautifying the farm, working with animals, everything from painting projects to construction, just a whole variety. We had a little bit of everything for everyone. So
that sounds like a great opportunity.
It is, and it's a way for people not only to connect with the farm, but to the land and the community at large. It's pretty great.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is Carrie Keenan with Anthony Cohen with Button Farm. Thank you for watching Travel Television.
The 2013 Points of Light Annual Conference convened in the nation's capital, connecting thousands of volunteers who work on the front lines of community service. More than 250 seminar sessions provided ample opportunities to learn, share stories, and practice the Points of Light spirit in 2 community projects, one that packed meals for the needy and the other cleaning the National Mall.
I think that as an American, you need to kind of give back, and that's why I'm here today. We're cleaning up the mall, so today we're weeding around bushes and trees and just trying to clean it up, helping out the Parks Department with that so they can go do something else.
I work at AmeriCorps of McHenry County in Illinois, and we had the opportunity to come to the conference, and we thought what better opportunity than to be a part of a volunteer conference to actually serve and volunteer as well. We're here at the Washington Monument, and we're here for the Servapalooza event put on by Points of Light.
Today we are helping to keep the Washington Monument clean, the area around it, and my responsibility for the day is to pick up trash. This was an opportunity for me to practice pretty much what I preach and do something that would immediately give you some reward.
My name is Mary Ellen Isaacs, and we're here in Washington, D.C. at the National Conference on Volunteering and Service. And this group behind us, we are putting together 100,000 meals for the Capital Area Food Bank here in D.C.
Hi, my name is Mark Loika. We're here in Washington, D.C. at the Conference on Volunteerism and Service. I'm both an employee and volunteer for Glasswing International, and I'm here to learn about volunteerism and help share some practices that we have in volunteerism in El Salvador.
Well, I think it's everyone here at this conference is a volunteer of one kind or another, and we truly believe that you get more back from volunteering than you even give. And it's just a great opportunity to serve your community, to get out and make the world a better place.
I'm Mel Hathaway. I'm the pastor of the Sonnenberg Mennonite Church in near Kidron, Ohio. And we have a group of fellows from the church there that decided we would get together and do a week of service, and connected with MDS, Mennonite Disaster Service, and this is the project that they invited us to come and work at. So we're here at Staten Island, and we're trying to help out some people that need some help getting their houses back in shape so they're livable again. Mennonite Disaster Service is a nationally recognized organization, but we always try to partner with local folks that are working to improve the situation for people. And so for me as a volunteer, I don't have to know all the ins and outs of what's happening here. I come in, there's a supervisor here that's telling us where the jobs are and lining up the materials for us. And so that's real helpful. We'd have a hard time coming in and doing this kind of thing on our own, but to work through the organizations that are here, that's makes it possible for us.
This is my first trip on this particular project. You know, I've been on a number of other projects before, down to past Christian in the south, was in Minot, North Dakota, at project there. So this is probably my sixth or seventh project that I've been on over the years. We usually try to do at least one project a year. It's always a benefit to see how little some people may have and how desperate the situation may be, to try to bring hope to the people. Christ came to bring hope, and we are Christians and want to bring hope to people, because it's just so devastating to see. And if I'm sure that we would experience, if we had experienced something like this, we would appreciate help from others as well. So it's volunteering is not a profitable thing, but it is a profitable as far as the experience and the feeling that you get from wanting to help.
My name's Ned Mast. I'm from Worcester, Ohio, and I'm here with Mennonite Disaster Service, helping these homeowners rebuild their homes after Hurricane Sandy damage. I've done other trips before with Mennonite Disaster Service, but more in our local area in northeast Ohio for other storm-related damages. We really enjoy the camaraderie that we have with our other volunteers, and it's a good chance to get away and help other people out in the process. Well, I didn't see the damage right after the hurricane, but I heard that these houses were all gutted and stripped down. We're working at putting drywall up today and working on some subfloor damage in the back where there was moisture that rotted out the joists. And looks like we have quite a good ways to go yet, but a lot of work's already been done. I'd encourage anyone that has two hands and is able-bodied to come out and volunteer. We can always use the help, and there's skilled laborers around to let everyone know what to do and keep things organized. But it's a good experience and a good way to meet new people and help your neighbors in the process.
My name's Brandon King from Orrville, Ohio. We're with a church group from Sonnenberg Mennonite Church. We're here on Staten Island, and we heard there was some work to be done out here, and we got a group of good volunteers together and made our way out here, and we're just doing what we can. We know there's a lot of work to be done yet, and we're just out here doing what we can while we're out here. We're doing something really good out here. We're helping people out. You know, we're not doing it for ourselves. You know, we're we're doing it for the people that are here, and that's what it's really all about. You know, we're not here to be selfish or anything like that. We're here to help the people out that need help and do what we can. I'm Brandon King. I'm here with Mennonite Disaster Service, doing what we can. The more volunteers we have, the more work we can do, and you know, get this place put back together.
My name is Gene Denlinger. I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I'm here in Staten Island helping to rebuild after Hurricane Sandy. I've been involved with some other relief efforts through Mennonite Disaster Service, and it's something that I retired recently from my job, and I have more free time, so it's something I wanted to do as I'm able. It's not only beneficial to the people that you're helping, it's also very beneficial to yourself, just your whole self-esteem. Just helping other people just really helps everyone.
The True Travelers Society sounds mysterious, or maybe like the title of a Hollywood blockbuster, but it's neither. It's actually a method for getting off the typical tourist track and integrating with an entire local community. True Travelers explore and experience culture away from gift shops and tour buses and integrate with the local community. They explore and experience local culture on a grassroots level, leaving the all-inclusive resorts and going beyond a chance meeting with the locals. The trick to true travel is finding opportunities that will enable travelers to do this. The aim of truetravelers.org is to help people get started. One of the ways to truly travel is through volunteering. There are great volunteer opportunities that do not cost any more than the cost of getting there. These organizations are locally operated and can be a bit tricky to find, but they're worth it once you do. The site helps connect you with free or low-fee international volunteer programs and provides resources to make the trip happen. These resources include fundraising sites like Volunteer Forever and educational sites like The Ethical Volunteer. A recent look at the site finds opportunities in Zambia, India, London, New York City, and Nepal. That's just a tip of the traveling and volunteering iceberg with the True Travelers Society.
If you're to visit Portugal, may I recommend the Douro Valley. And if you do the Douro Valley, the best way to do it is via river cruise. You'll see vineyards as far as the eye can see and as long as the river runs. And then you'll stop in places like this and take in some of the natural beauty that makes Portugal such a wonderful destination. So what is this? This is the Enoteca Winery tasting room. But it's more than just a tasting room. It's a little bit of history about the wine production in this region. For instance, the barrel at the end holds 8,000 liters of wine. The barrel at this end holds 30,000 liters. And the ones in between, everything in between. So you can do more than just get a taste of the wine. You can come behind this door and experience the first interactive wine museum in all of Europe. Here you'll get a look into how the wine is produced from the time it's crushed until the time it reaches the barrel. If you make plans to visit this winery, you can get involved in the production process because you will be an unpaid volunteer who has the opportunity to get in here in September during harvest season and crush the grapes, be part of the actual process, and maybe even set your calendar to come back the following year to taste the fruits of your labors.
The human brain. It's built pyramids, cured diseases, and sent man into space. And yet, it's no bigger than a head of cabbage. At its best, there seems to be no problem too big for the human brain to solve, unless that brain is malnourished during development. Then its potential is reduced by as much as 25%. Add the effects of hunger, disease, and a general lack of education, and that brain has been forever stunted, as has its owner.
Proving that there is a connection between food, nutrition, health, and IQ is the objective of the St. Lucia Project. Our guest, Bud Philbrook, is a nonprofit entrepreneur, co-founder with his wife of Global Volunteers, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary. It is an honor to have a pioneer in the world of volunteerism. Welcome, Bud.
Well, thank you very much.
Can you tell us more about the St. Lucia Project?
Yeah, the St. Lucia Project is intended to demonstrate that short-term volunteers can have a positive impact on children and all of their development. It's very interesting. At birth, 87% of a newborn's metabolic energy is going towards its brain development. Even at a year, it's still 60%. So think about that. These are vital times. Those first 1,000 days between conception and the second birthday, if pregnant women and the children receive sufficient food, nutrition, and protection from disease, can have an enormous impact. And what we intend to do is to demonstrate that those children will actually have higher IQs than their older siblings and cousins.
That sounds great. Have you started this initiative, or is there a start date for it in the future?
We were invited to St. Lucia in 2011. We are working in cooperation with the Ministries of Education, Health, and Agriculture at the invitation of the Catholic Church in a community in the western part of the country, right on the Caribbean Sea, called Anse-la-Raye. Beautiful place, but very poor. The first volunteers, teams of volunteers, were there, started in January of 2012. We've since sent about 300 volunteers. The first year we spent most of our time building trust and relationships with the local people. In 2013 we focused on how to actually deliver the services. In 2014 we are focusing our energies on primarily pregnant women and newborns and toddlers.
And then in the coming years you'll follow up with that same group?
Well, we intend to be there for as long as we're continued to be invited. And the indications from the government and the community is that that will be for a long time.
Excellent.
Global Volunteers typically works in communities for decades.
So Global Volunteers is celebrating its 30th anniversary. What has been the mission during that time?
Our mission is to wage peace and promote justice. We engage average Americans in the process of making this a more peaceful world. And the way that happens is through friendship. So our volunteers work hand in hand with local people, and in that process they become friends. And friends typically, when there's disputes, attempt to resolve them non-violently. And so our view is that the more friends there are in the world, the more peaceful dispute resolution there will be. And we promote justice the same way, because when you have a friend against whom an injustice is being perpetrated, you want to do something about it.
Right.
So the more friends in the world, the more justice there'll be in the world.
It sounds like a great mission. What do you see for the future of Global Volunteers?
Some years ago, the United Nations identified 12 services that every child needs in order to realize the fullness of their potential. The 12 essential services fall into 3 categories: eradicating hunger, improving health, and enhancing IQ. Delivering the essential services is the focus for the next several decades at least, trying to ensure that every child on the planet could have all of the services necessary so they could realize the fullness of their potential. We know that if just 2% of all the population of the developed world volunteered for 2 to 3 weeks a year, within a generation, every child would receive all the services necessary so that they would get all their IQ points that they were supposed to, and therefore learn what they need to learn to become full and contributing members of society.
So tell us about a volunteer experience that moved you the most.
In St. Lucia, we are working with an organization called the Roving Caregivers. These are women who go literally door to door, much like a caseworker would, and help new moms learn how to better care for their children. And then when our volunteers are in country, they go along with the caseworkers and meet with and work with the mothers and their children. And one evening after the day's work, during the reporting session, one of the volunteers said that one of the women that she had worked with that day, one of the moms, asked her if she would be sure to come back tomorrow.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, very, very meaningful to that volunteer.
Absolutely. So if people are interested in this project and in learning more information, how can they contact you?
Well, they can go on our website, which is globalvolunteers.org, and all the information is there. They can call us toll-free at 800-487-1074. All the information would be available to them.
Stop. Whatever else you're doing, just stop.
This is your invitation to make history.
You have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be part of a group of people on a mission to accomplish something great.
How great?
Together, we can help raise the IQ of an entire country.
Join us. Join us. Together, we can change the course of an entire country. And if we do, the world is next.